Okay, everything that we learned last night about the importance of a person not speaking in shul, that was like a children's storybook compared to what we're going to discuss tonight. So hold on to your seats over here. Says Rav Chaim Kanievsky in his Orchos Yosher, the following idea. And he says like this, Rabbi Chama, v'amar Meseches Derech Eretz. It said over in Meseches Derech Eretz in the Beis Yosef, who is the author of the Shulchan Aruch, he brings this down in the Beis Yosef. Now the Beis Yosef is not telling stories. He's here to write a halachic sefer, that we should understand what the halacha l'maisa, how to keep the laws of tefillah. And he brings down the following story from the Masechet Derech Eretz. And the story is the following. Rabbi Chama bar Chanina ashkach le'Eliyahu. So Rabbi Chama bar Chanina, one of the great sages, he met up with Eliyahu Navi, v'imei gemalim tu'unim. And Eliyahu had with him some very heavily loaded camels. He had camels that were carrying heavy loads on them. Amalei, so Rabbi Chama was apparently surprised. He never saw camels carrying such things before in his life. He was a little bit bothered by what they were carrying, what the load was. So Amalei asked him, Ma gemalim alolu tu'unim. What are these camels carrying? I never saw a pack like that. I never saw a load like that. What's on their back over here? So Eliyahu Navi said, Af v'roigez lemisha mesaper ben kedusha lekedusha, ben kedusha lebarach, ben yeheshmei rabba liyizbarach, or ben kol bracha bracha. So Eliyahu Navi answers back, the camels are carrying Af v'roigez, anger and wrath. I don't exactly know what a load of anger and wrath looks like, but it must have been very startling because Rabbi Chama bar Chanina was surprised and shocked to see it. Why are they carrying loads of wrath and anger? Because it's for those people who speak between Kedusha to Kedusha, meaning when we say Kadosh, 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 by Kedusha, people that speak in between every Kadosh, then Kedusha to Baruch, the Kedusha and then Baruch Shem Kavod Malchusa, they speak in between that. Ben Yeshmei Rabba Yilis Baruch, a person in the middle of Kaddish, they answer, Amen Yeshmei Rabba. Then they turn to their friends and say, how you doing? And then before Yisbarach, it will be Chol Bracha Bracha, and between every single blessing in the Shmon Esrei, or whichever bracha you would speak between. So Eliyahu Navi was telling him, these are the camels that are loaded with the wrath and the fury of those people that speak between even the brachas of Shmon Esrei. V'chol Madaber Behem, Allah v'kosavayim, anyone who speaks in these non-opportune places to speak during davening, the pasuk says, "V'loy oisi karasa Yaakov." It says in the pasuk, but you did not call out to me Yaakov Klal Yisrael. The guy's in shul, he's davening Shmon Esrei, he's answering Amen Yeshmei Rabbah. He's answering Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. He's answering Yishem, whatever, all the different things that he has to answer in shul. But because that he spoke in between the places where he's not supposed to speak, says the pasuk, it's ois, you did not call out to me, Yaakov, you did not call out to me, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because it sounds like that if you end up speaking in a place where you're not supposed to speak, you're like undoing all the tefillah that you have, all the tefillahs that you offered up until that point. And the paiskim, the halacha authorities bring down in the name of the midrash. There was once a great Talmid Chacham who appeared to one of his students in a dream. Again, the Mishnah Berurah brings it down as well. They're not here to tell stories. The Rav Chaim was not a storyteller. He's telling you what you need to know so you'll understand the halacha over here, how to keep it in the right way. So there was a Chacham, and he came to his student in a dream. Im kesem b'mitzcha, he had a stain on his forehead. And he was not from India. Okay, so he had a stain on his forehead over here, and his Talmud said, "Va'amalai," and he told his Talmud, "Sheza einish mibnei shaloi nizar ledaber b'shas kaddish." I got this stain on my forehead because I was not careful in shul. This is a chacham, not a guy like us living in Tarzana. This is a Talmud chacham that is being quoted over here from the midrash. That means we're going back 2,000 years. We're talking about somebody that could probably resurrect the dead if he wanted to. But he talked in shul, when he talked in Shul B'Shas Kaddish during the time of Kaddish, and therefore he now is walking around eternally in the world, in another world, with a stain on his head. Gam Eviu Sham Misefer Chasidim, the Chavetz Chaim also brings out over there from the Sefer Chasidim. Ma'isa b'Chasid Echad. There's a story of a Chasid. Chasid is a very pious, righteous person. Shira l'Chasid Acher b'Maisai. And he was such a holy person that somehow in his dreams or in some vision he saw another man that was a chassid, another righteous person who had already passed and left the world. He saw a vision of him. Upanav marikos, and the man's face after he died was green. So Amalai, so the chassid said, Lama panecha marikos, why is your face so green? So Amalai mibnei shayisi medaber b'shah sha'ashatz ha'yomer vayechulu ubebirchas magen avos v'yiskadel ad kan l'shemer. Now this is even worse. Okay, I could understand you speak in the middle of Kaddish, and Kaddish is Yisaitis of the world. I can understand you speaking between the brachas of Shemona Esrei. Okay, you're damaging the tefillah, the chazaras hashatz. I can understand Kedusha, you start talking to the person next to you. Fine, but over here, this is Friday night. Everybody's tired. HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows how tired we are Friday night. And you just want to go home. And you're even saying something that nobody thinks has the same level of Kedusha as anything else that we say during davening. And yet if you speak while the tzibur is saying Vayechulu, or Magen Avos, Uvi Yiskadel, says the Mishavur, bringing down the Sefer Hasidim over here, that is why the man's face was turned green in the next world. So we're bringing proofs over here from people that had a sensitivity towards tefillah, people that understood the seriousness of what it means to come into a Beis HaKnesses and to daven b'kavod and to pay attention and to be on good behavior, yet they themselves made mistakes, which on the surface looks like a very small thing. So what's the big deal? Everyone's saying Vayichulu, and you're talking to your friend about all the good schnapps that you have tonight at the table. Everyone's saying Vayichulu, and you're saying to your friend, I'm so tired. What's the big deal? It's true, you are tired and you have good schnapps at the house. Nevertheless, because that we spoke about these things, so therefore, says the Mishavur, according to Sefer Hasidim, so this man's face was quite green. Now, there's a lot more to say over here. I'll just let that sink in for the evening, and Be'ez Hashem will continue tomorrow with the rest of the glorious words of the Orchos Yosher.